Hey there, curious minds. Welcome back to No Way, That's Illegal, the channel where we dig up the wildest, weirdest, and most unbelievable things that were once totally legal. Today we're diving into the jaw-dropping world of illegal medical treatments that actually happened. I know, crazy. And trust me, some of these are so bizarre you'll be glad you weren't born a few centuries earlier. But before we get started, let me ask you, have you ever wondered what lengths people would go to in the name of health? Or what your doctor might have prescribed you if you lived 100 years ago? Yeah, we're talking about the time when, nothing was as easy and as advanced as it is today. Stick around because you won't believe what made it onto this list. Imagine walking into a doctor's office and being told the cure for your cough is heroin. Or that the way to fix your headache is a drill hole in your skull. Yes, literally drilling a hole in your skull. That is the solution. Sounds like a horror movie, right? But these were once real, legal treatments. Ready to get your mind blown? Not like that. Let's jump in. Number 1. Lobotomy. The ice pick miracle. Let's kick things off with one of the most infamous medical horrors, the lobotomy. Picture this. It's the 1940s. You're struggling with depression or anxiety, and your doctor suggests a revolutionary new procedure. Revolutionary at the time. All it takes is a sharp instrument, a hammer, and a few minutes of poking around behind your eyeball. Sounds comforting, right? The lobotomy involved inserting a metal spike, often literally an ice pick, through the eye socket and into the brain's frontal lobes. The goal? To reset your personality and cure mental illness. The reality? Many patients were left with permanent brain damage, lost their personalities, or even died. I'm surprised anybody survived a ice pick through the eye socket at all. That is just murder. And get this, the man who popularized this in the US, Dr. Walter Freeman, used to travel the country in his lobotomobile, performing thousands of these procedures, sometimes in front of live audiences. Oh well, a dinner and a show. Today, this would be considered not just unethical, but it's downright criminal. Can you imagine your doctor suggesting this today? Oh, you're not feeling so good, you feel sad. Hey, let me just, kill you. Number 2, Trephination, ancient brain surgery. Next up, Trephination, one of the most oldest, of course, surgical procedures in history. Let's set the scene. You're living in the Stone Age and you've got a splitting headache. It's killing you. The local healer's solution? Grab a sharp stone and drill a hole in your skull. Yes, really, they're not kidding. Trephination was believed to release evil spirits, cure epilepsy, or relieve pressure after a head injury. Archaeologists have found ancient skulls with perfectly round holes and evidence that some people actually survived the procedure. But let's be real. The risk of infection, brain damage, or death was sky high, as it would be. Today, drilling holes in someone's skull without clear medical need and modern equipment would land you straight in jail, and that is literally just manslaughter. I mean, imagine thinking the solution is to drill a hole in your head. Yeah, that's not saving anyone, buddy. Would you trust your neighbor with a rock and a chisel to perform brain surgery? Because I wouldn't. Number 3. Heroin for coughs, the non-addictive miracle drug. Yes, you don't feel so well, let's give you drugs, that kind of thing. Now let's talk about a treatment that's as shocking as it is dangerous. Heroin for coughs. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, German pharmaceutical giant Bayer marketed heroin as a safe and non-addictive alternative to morphine. I don't know how he got away with it, but let's just say he did. Doctors prescribed it for everything from coughs to colds, even for children. Kids on crack? That is not encouraged. Ads encourage everyone to try it, promising sweet relief without the risk of addiction. Of course, we now know heroin is one of the most addictive substances on the planet. It took years and countless ruined lives before authorities finally banned it in 1924. Wow, sure took them long enough. Sounds like something they would do only to stay relevant. Next time you reach for the coughing syrup, aren't you glad it doesn't come with a side of heroin? Yeah, imagine a cough and then you just take heroin and your life is ruined. Yeah, that heroin. Number 4, bloodletting, the universal cure. Feeling sick? For over 2,000 years, the answer was simple: drain your blood. Bloodletting was based on the ancient belief that the body's health depended on balancing four humors. Too much blood? Just cut a vein and let it flow. This was the go-to treatment for everything from fevers to headaches, even the common cold. You don't feel so well? Alright, let's drain your blood, buddy. Doctors would use knives, leeches, or special cups to draw out blood, sometimes taking out a pint or more at a time. Unsurprisingly, many patients got weaker or died from the cure instead of the disease. Yeah, imagine the cure being something that drains you of your blood. That's not gonna save anybody. That is no cure for anybody, dude. I wouldn't recommend it. Today, draining someone's blood without a medical reason is a crime. But for centuries, it was just another day at the doctor's office. Would you trust a doctor who prescribed bloodletting for your next cold? Yeah, that is the question of the day. Number 5, insulin coma therapy. Shocking cure for mental illness. Finally, let's talk about a treatment that's both shocking and chilling, literally. Insulin coma therapy. In the 1920s and 30s, doctors believed that inducing a coma with massive doses of insulin could reset the brains of people with schizophrenia and other mental illnesses. Sounds like a horror movie plot, but it really did happen in the 20s and 30s. Patients were injected with insulin until they slipped into a coma. Sometimes for hours, sometimes for weeks. The idea was just repeated comas would somehow cure their psychiatric symptoms. The risks? Brain damage, permanent disability, or worse, death. The fatality rate was around 1%, and many more suffered long-term harm. With the advent of antipsychotic drugs, this brutal therapy was finally abandoned and is now considered not just dangerous, but illegal. Can you imagine waking up from a coma only to find out your doctor did it on purpose? Yeah, that would make me go crazy as well. So there you have it. 5 medical treatments from history that are so outrageous, they're not just outdated, they're illegal today. For good reason too. It's wild to think how far we've come, and a little terrifying to imagine what passed for medicine not so long ago. Poor souls. Which of these shocked you the most? Would you have survived a trip to the doctor in the 1800s? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your stories and reactions. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the weirdest corners of medical history, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an episode of No Way, That's Illegal. Share this video with your friends. Let's see who would have survived the good old days of medicine. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and remember, sometimes the cure is worse than the disease. See you next time!